If you're over 40, this could be a sign your prostate is trying to tell you something important. Nighttime trips to the bathroom might feel like a minor nuisance, but they could actually be a red flag for something bigger. Don't ignore it. Find out what your body is really trying to say and how you can take control before it gets worse. Point 1. Enlarged prostate isn't just aging, it's inflammation. Most men accept prostate enlargement as inevitable. Your doctor probably told you it's benign prostatic hyperplasia, printed out a pamphlet, and sent you home with the expectation that you'll eventually need medication or surgery. That's the wrong framework entirely. What to understand? Your prostate doesn't enlarge randomly with each birthday candle. It enlarges in response to chronic inflammation, and inflammation has specific triggers you're exposing yourself to daily. The tissue surrounding your prostate is rich in immune cells. When these cells detect inflammatory signals from diet, from sitting patterns, from hormonal imbalances, they respond by thickening the tissue. This isn't your body breaking down. It's your body trying to protect itself using an outdated response mechanism that ultimately creates the problem it's trying to solve. The right approach: treat your prostate issue as an inflammation problem, not an aging problem. When you reduce systemic inflammation through targeted interventions, which we'll cover, the prostate tissue can actually reduce in size. This isn't theoretical. Ultrasound studies confirm measurable reduction in prostate volume when inflammation markers drop. The question isn't whether you can reverse this, it's whether you're willing to make specific changes that matter more than the generic advice you've already tried. Point 2. The 6 p.m. water cutoff rule explained. Most men either chug water right before bed thinking they're being healthy, or they restrict fluids all day and wonder why they're still getting up at night. What not to do: drinking your daily water quota after 7 p.m. or randomly restricting water without understanding bladder capacity training. What to do: implement the 6 p.m. water cutoff, but do it intelligently. Your kidneys process fluids on a roughly 90-minute cycle. Any significant water intake after 6 p.m. will hit your bladder around the time you're entering deep sleep, which is exactly when you don't want the interruption. It's not just about when you stop drinking, it's about front-loading your hydration. You need 70 to 80% of your daily water intake before 3 p.m. This trains your kidneys to process volume earlier in the day and signals your circadian rhythm to reduce output at night. Your bladder also needs progressive training. If you're getting up 3 times now, you can't expect to immediately sleep through the night. Start by pushing your first bathroom trip 15 minutes later each week. Your bladder capacity isn't fixed, it responds to consistent signaling. Point 3. Why saw palmetto works when done right. You've probably seen saw palmetto supplements in every pharmacy, tried a random brand for 2 weeks, felt nothing, and dismissed it as snake oil. That's because 90% of saw palmetto products are formulated incorrectly. What not to do: buying the cheapest saw palmetto capsule at your local store, taking it inconsistently, or expecting results within days. What to do: source saw palmetto extract that's specifically standardized to 85 to 95% fatty acids and sterols, the active compounds that actually block 5-alpha reductase, the enzyme converting testosterone to DHT. Most commercial products contain 25 to 45% standardization, which is essentially paying for filler. Dosing matters critically. The clinically effective dose is 320 milligrams daily of properly standardized extract taken with fat for absorption. Studies published in Cochrane Reviews show this specific formulation reduces prostate symptoms by 38% over 12 weeks, but only at this standardization level. The mechanism is elegant. By reducing DHT production, you're directly addressing the hormonal trigger for prostate tissue growth. But here's what nobody tells you. Saw palmetto also has anti-inflammatory properties independent of its hormonal effects, working on COX-2 pathways similar to how prescription anti-inflammatories function, but without the side effects. Consistency is non-negotiable. This isn't symptom relief you feel tomorrow. You're changing tissue composition at a cellular level, which requires sustained signaling over weeks. Men who commit to 3 months of proper saw palmetto see measurable prostate volume reduction on imaging. Point 4. Your sitting position is strangling prostate circulation. You sit through meetings, commutes, meals, and evening television. 8 to 12 hours daily of uninterrupted sitting, and nobody's connecting this to your prostate symptoms. What not to do: sitting with your pelvis tilted backward, crossing your legs, or remaining stationary for hours without movement breaks. What to do? Adjust your sitting biomechanics immediately. Sit forward on your sitting bones with a slight anterior pelvic tilt. This keeps your prostate area from being compressed between your pubic bone and the chair surface. The difference in pressure is measurable. Studies using perineal pressure sensors show standard slouch sitting creates 40 to 60% more pressure on pelvic floor tissues compared to proper posture. Get a standing desk and alternate every 45 minutes. When you do sit, use a wedge cushion that tilts your pelvis forward 5 to 10 degrees. This maintains the natural lordotic curve and keeps blood flowing through the pudendal arteries that supply your prostate. Movement breaks matter more than position. Every hour, do 60 seconds of pelvic circles or hip flexor stretches. Your prostate relies on movement-driven circulation because it doesn't have robust arterial supply like other organs. Static positions starve it of oxygen and nutrients while allowing metabolic waste to accumulate. Point 5, the pelvic floor dysfunction. Nobody mentions. When doctors discuss prostate health, they focus on the gland itself and completely ignore the muscular sling holding everything in place. Your pelvic floor muscles are chronically tight, weak, or poorly coordinated, and this is amplifying every symptom you're experiencing. What not to do? Assuming Kegels are the solution, or ignoring pelvic floor health entirely because it seems too complicated. What to do? Understand that most men have hypertonic pelvic floors, muscles that are too tight, not too weak. Doing standard Kegels when you have tension is like doing bicep curls when your arm is already cramped. You need release and coordination training first. Start with diaphragmatic breathing. Lie on your back, place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Breathe so only your belly hand moves, directing air into your pelvic floor. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system and releases tension in the pelvic muscles. 5 minutes twice daily creates measurable improvement. Then add reverse Kegels, consciously relaxing and lengthening your pelvic floor muscles instead of contracting them. Think about the sensation of starting urination. That's a reverse Kegel. Practice this for 30 seconds, 10 times daily. Pelvic floor physical therapists report that 70% of men with prostate symptoms have accompanying pelvic floor dysfunction. When addressed together, symptom improvement doubles compared to treating the prostate alone. Point 6. Sugar spikes DHT and inflames tissue. Your prostate tissue is remarkably sensitive to blood sugar fluctuations, yet dietary advice for prostate health rarely mentions glucose management. What not to do? Consuming high glycemic meals, especially in the evening, or thinking moderate sugar intake doesn't matter because you're not diabetic. What to do? Understand the insulin-DHT connection. When blood sugar spikes, insulin rises to manage it. Elevated insulin stimulates an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase. The same enzyme saw palmetto blocks, which converts testosterone into DHT. More DHT means more prostate tissue growth and more inflammation. Studies show that men with insulin resistance have 40% higher DHT levels than men with normal insulin sensitivity. This isn't about diabetes. This is about every high-carb meal creating a hormonal cascade that grows your prostate. The solution is strategic carbohydrate timing and quality. Shift your carbohydrate intake to earlier in the day when insulin sensitivity is naturally higher. Choose low glycemic sources, sweet potatoes, quinoa, steel-cut oats instead of bread, pasta, and refined grains. Add protein and fat to every carb-containing meal. This blunts the glucose spike significantly. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that adding 30 grams of protein to a high-carb meal reduced the glucose spike by 45%. Evening meals should be protein and vegetable-focused. Your last meal's glucose impact directly affects your overnight hormone profile. Keep dinner low glycemic and you're reducing DHT production during sleep when your body does most of its tissue repair and growth. Point 7. The pre-bed supplement stack that works. Random supplementation doesn't work. A strategic stack taken at specific times creates synergistic effects that address multiple pathways simultaneously. What not to do? Taking supplements randomly throughout the day or buying trendy products without understanding mechanisms. What to do? Build a targeted pre-bed stack taken 60 to 90 minutes before sleep. This form crosses the blood-brain barrier and promotes both sleep quality and smooth muscle relaxation throughout your urinary tract. It also reduces inflammation by modulating immune cell activity. Before we get to one final insight that might be the most important of all, drop the word prostate in the comments if you've made it this far. We read every single comment, and it helps us know you're getting value from this content. As a thank you for watching until this point, this bonus insight is for you. Bonus point, your sleep quality affects prostate size. The relationship between sleep quality and prostate health runs deeper than you think. Poor sleep doesn't just result from prostate symptoms. It actually causes prostate enlargement in a vicious cycle most men don't understand. When you don't achieve deep sleep, your growth hormone production drops by up to 70%. Growth hormone is essential for tissue repair and reducing inflammation. Without adequate levels, your body can't properly heal the inflammatory damage accumulating in your prostate tissue. Fragmented sleep also elevates cortisol, which remains elevated through the next day. Chronic cortisol elevation triggers inflammatory cascades and increases insulin resistance, both directly growing prostate tissue. Studies tracking men over 5 years show that those with poor sleep quality, defined as less than 6 hours or frequent interruptions, had prostates that grew 50% faster than men with quality sleep. The direction of causation runs both ways. This means that improving your sleep through the interventions we've covered doesn't just give you better rest, it actively shrinks your prostate. Each night of quality sleep is therapeutic, reducing inflammation and optimizing the hormones that keep prostate tissue healthy. Sleep isn't recovery time, it's treatment time. Let's recap what we've covered. Point 1. Your enlarged prostate is driven by inflammation, not aging, and inflammation has controllable triggers. Point 2. The 6 p.m. water cutoff, done intelligently with front-loaded hydration, trains your system to reduce nighttime urination. Point 3. Saw palmetto works when properly standardized to 85 to 95% fatty acids at 320 milligrams daily with dietary fat. Point 4, your sitting position creates prostate compression. Adjust your posture and incorporate movement breaks. Point 5, pelvic floor dysfunction amplifies symptoms. Focus on release and breathing before strengthening. Point 6, sugar spikes insulin and DHT, directly growing prostate tissue. Manage glucose strategically. Point 7, a targeted pre-bed supplement stack addresses multiple pathways synergistically. If this video provided value, hit the like button. It genuinely helps us reach more men who need this information and supports the channel's growth on YouTube. Subscribe for daily content that challenges conventional health narratives with practical, actionable intelligence. Share this video with someone you know dealing with these issues. The insights we've covered aren't widely discussed, and you might genuinely change someone's quality of life. Thanks for watching. We've recommended your next video on the screen. Keep the momentum going. See you back here tomorrow.